All right, this is our Halloween setup for this year. It's kind of a continuation of our cemetery build that we did last year, just in our little carport driveway here. And the big difference this year, a lot more tombstones, and we also built this sort of grave monument. Our idea was that we wanted trick-or-treaters to be able to like experience the haunt and grab candy without having to knock on our door. And so this is what we came up with. And it's pretty cool. It's really easy, pretty simple construction, which I'll show you in some daytime videos. But I think one of the coolest things for me is just that fog effect that's happening in the back. That's just a projector pointing at us with a fog machine happening. Last year still had a projector and fog, but the projector was projecting a scene onto the garage door, and that always just sort of looked like there was a projector screen in the back, and it was always kind of brighter. And so this really kind of, I think, made a nice difference, made it a little bit darker and has that kind of sparkly, glowy thing happening. I also did these candles, which have some white hot glue dripping, and made a couple of tombstones. Also made this little DIY LED spotlight, which is nice. And that over there is another fog machine going through like a chiller, and right now it's doing okay. Really just the wind in this carport area definitely kicks up, and so makes it a little bit tricky, but yeah, I'll go ahead and flip over to some daytime footage and kind of show you the overall build. All right, so here it is at during the day. And yeah, it's a nice little space. It's just a carport driveway on the side of our house, and protects it from the rain, which we get a lot of here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just kind of walk you through how it's laid out. Specifically how I sort of built this. It's pretty straightforward, just a combination of 1-inch and 2-inch extruded polystyrene foam. And my initial idea was that I'd have a little area where I could put the projector on the inside and kind of keep that, I don't know, sort of out of the way or hidden. And but I changed it up this year. Instead of projecting onto this garage door, I moved the projector, and it shines on the back of this, and then through the fog kind of creates that vortex that you saw. And yeah, it's just, I mean, there's not all the extension cords out right now, but it's pretty simple, just the fog machine kind of not running through anything, and then this super cheap Amazon projector that I got a couple years ago. Surprising that it still works, actually, but for this purpose it's great. And yeah, it's, again, really sort of simple build. Just kind of came up with a little design that I wanted the candy bowl to be within reach of kids, so it's up off the ground but not super high. The bowl is just a plastic bowl I got from Target, glued some skeleton hands on it, and then kind of just weathered it and glued it in there so that it doesn't go running away with all the candy. And then these are little embossments that I made that glued on there and then also weathered with it. Put some little like moss details here and there. And this is just, I created a vinyl stencil and then used a Dremel router bit to make that happen. So really similar to just kind of all the tutorials on making tombstones, to get that pop mark kind of stone look. That's just water with a heat gun. And yeah, overall, really happy. I'm actually most proud, I think, of this roof. The pyramid roof was kind of a geometry brain burner at first. but came out really nice, and I think makes it look really cool. And then yeah, everything else in the build's, I don't know, pretty straightforward. I made a custom tombstone this year. I wanted something that was like, I don't know, like a weathered or broken tombstone, so did that. Made it first and did the vinyl, and then cut the top off, and it's just all one piece now. So I glued it all together and kind of made that nice little base. And then made this tombstone too. Not super sure of the placement on this one. I wanted people to know that they can come through this space, and so that's how I thought of kind of having a tombstone that said candy this way, but don't know if it'll end up here or if it'll end up further in the yard. And then this one here, and that one, and that gargoyle in the back. Those are all Spirit Halloween ones, and mostly left the same except for this one. I decided this year to put a base on it and put some dry locking over it and weather it, because it was, I think it was black and had like some painted details on it. I'm pretty sure you can still buy this tombstone at Spirit, but I think with the dry lock it looks a lot more subtle, which is nice. And then the thing that I did do to this one and the gargoyle is I added like a foam extension to it, because since I'm on concrete, I can't obviously stake these into the ground like you can in a yard, so they blow over a lot. And so right now I'm just using these little 2-pound dumbbells, which do the job, but aren't like the greatest looking. So I'm trying to, at some point, maybe next year, come up with a way that I can add some weight to it without having it be super visible. I don't know, if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. I know there's those little craft weights that you can put on, they're like stick on. I don't know if that would do it, but for now, the dumbbells I think are fine. And I am currently working on some little LED spotlights to just kind of call out certain tombstones. So that'll be the only difference between the nighttime stuff that I already shot, unless I decide to just like include what those look like in this video, and then also the nighttime stuff maybe I'll do differently. But those should definitely help kind of create some more designation, I think, between those tombstones. And yeah, I don't know, overall I think it's pretty fun. I think next year maybe one change we'll make is create a bigger fence or gate that kind of makes it look a little bit more enclosed and cemetery-like. But yeah, overall, pretty excited, and hopefully we get lots of trick-or-treaters. It's supposed to rain, so we'll see. If you have any questions about how I built it, or resources that I found that were helpful, just leave me a comment and I'll be glad to help. Okay, happy Halloween.